All right. So
Africa or something.
no, he didn't even have his music on today. Yeah, that.
Okay.
Yeah, today he was with Fred and he was like all quiet.
Hey, where's Waldo?
Okay, just put it back there. Friday, just put that. Put the pass back there. Perfect. Thanks. Okay. All right. We're gonna take a few notes. We'll get started here. First example.
Where's Waldo?
All right. What we're talking about today is we're talking about overtime pay. We started this yesterday. My goal is to do a couple problems with this, where we can talk about. So I'm gonna do more examples to make sure you guys are comfortable with the different things we're gonna have to do. So the first one, we're gonna talk about how to calculate time and a half versus double time. I know that seems simple enough. So time and a half versus double time. And we'll talk about how you can actually do that. After we're through that problem, I want to do a problem where we actually look at a schedule. So we look at a week schedule, and we can calculate what your overtime is, if it's double time, if it's time and a half, whatever that pay is. But we're not going to actually calculate your pay. I just want to look at the hours on that first example. So we're just going to look at the hours that's involved. Okay, that will help us. I think yesterday it was kind of a free-for-all when I gave that one problem because I didn't give a lot of instructions before it. But I want to calculate hours only. The second part I want to do is to actually calculate your gross pay. When you actually have to put in consideration, like if you have 40 hours, if you have time and a half, you have double time, if there's a vacation day in the middle, that type of thing. And then the last part here that I want to talk about is I want to do a story problem with that. This is the last one we're going to finish with. So I got about 4 problems I like to cover today. And each problem I'm going to pick directly out of the book so you guys get to see something like you're going to have in your homework. The goal is not to get homework today, it's just to do a few notes. So, okay, we're good? All right, let's do the first one. What is our minimum wage here in the state? Is it $7.25?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, $7.25. All right, let's write that down.
They want to come back.
Okay, so $7.25 minimum wage.
They want to raise it.
Okay, now what that is, that's your pay per hour. It's usually in like local department stores and whatnot. I think most gas stations and most places around here, they automatically have it jumped up. Just depends on the actual how many employees they need and what they require of you. But $7.25. What we're going to calculate is time and a half first. So if somehow you worked overtime, and overtime is anything past 40 hours. So time and a half. All you have to do, this is the easiest calculation, and this is what I want you to do. Take your $7.25 and multiply by 1.5. That's it. That's time and a half. It's 100% of your wage. That's 1. And 0.5 is half the wage. So when you multiply that out, I need to know what that number is. So if somebody can do a calculation, if you have calculators in the back, you can grab them. Today you will want calculators.
Take out 4. 875.
Say again? It's gotta be more than 7, isn't it? You can have 1.5? Say it again?
875. I was up there.
I heard 785 in my head, and it was like, it's kind of more than $7. There we go, okay, good. We're on the right page, sorry. Okay. All right, here's the number that we're getting. So, what time and a half is? Past 40-hour work week. Now you're making $10.88 if you round up. That's what you're making per hour after 40 hours. So if you worked 43 hours, the last 3 hours you're getting $10 an hour. So you made $30 in 3 hours. That type of thing. A little bit more. Okay, they'll probably round up. Now, that's if you're going time and a half. If you have double time pay, double time is anytime you're on vacation. Double time pay. It could be a Black Friday. It could be Labor Day. If it's a national holiday, businesses are required to pay either time and a half or double time pay. So now that you have a double time pay, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 7 1/4 and you're gonna take it times 2. That's all it is, so it's gonna be $14.50. That's what you should get on double time pay. You're getting double the wages per hour that you normally would. Now, there's 2 ways to do that problem. You could double the hours, so let's say you put in time on Labor Day, and you worked 4 hours, let's say. There's 2 ways to do the problem. You could double your wages, like I did, and then take it times your 4 hours worked or whatever you did. Or you could double the hours you worked. So like you said you worked 4, but what they do is they just say you worked 8 hours that day, and you take it times 7.25. It'll be the same number no matter what. So you could double the hours, or you could double the pay. I usually just double the pay. Questions, comments about how to calculate double time versus time and a half? It's a very easy number. Now what these numbers you're seeing is your wage per hour. That's your hourly wage. It's not your total, it's what you're gonna get paid per hour though. Okay, now that we know that, let's do a calculation on a schedule now. Now we're not gonna do all of it together, we'll do the gross pay later. What I wanna talk about is if I gave you a schedule and I told you where the holidays are, could you figure out if you have double, time and a half, if you even worked overtime, that type of thing. So let's look at a schedule here. Homework. Okay, so here's my schedule. Let's say this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, we did a very similar situation yesterday. So hours on Sunday, group in the back, give me any number other than don't go past 10.
9.
5.5.
5.5, we're going 5.5. I like the weird number, 5.5. Next group, any number between, 0 and 10.
11.
11. 8.
No.
8, let's go 8.
Okay.
Next group, any number between 0 and 10.
I know.
4, okay.
7.5.
Next,
7.
7. Next group,
4.25.
4.25. Last group,
3.
3. And on Saturday, you're working 5 hours. That was mine. Okay, what we're gonna calculate is if there's any double time pay, time and a half, maybe you didn't get to overtime, we're gonna talk about it now. If anyone can remember yesterday, now I'm just using the book as an example. This is not the case for every business. I even heard some people kind of rumbling about where they kind of work and what they offer. The book says Sundays, again, this is a very old textbook, I think it was like 2003, Sundays are double time pay. Some businesses don't do that. That's just the normal hours you have to work if you're not full time. So Sundays, they're saying this is automatically double time pay. So we're gonna stick with that concept when we do the homework. So Sundays, if you're working on Sunday, boom, that's double time pay. Now the rest of the week is normal hours. This is normal wages.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I'm looking for is if we can get past 40 hours. That's what I want to worry about. Can we get past 40 hours? So ignore Sunday. Add up the rest of the week on your calculator. I want to know total hours involved.
28.25. 31.25. 31.25.
31.25?
Yes.
31.25?
No, I didn't.
That can't be 31.25. It's got to be like 0.75, isn't it?
That's what I was.
Oh wait, we
No,
ignored
it's
Sunday.
fine.
You're right. We ignored Sunday, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
You're right. We ignored Sunday. So 7.25. What was it? 31.25?
31.25.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was adding something in my head. So the idea is 31 from Monday to Saturday. We didn't get overtime. We didn't get overtime. We didn't get over 40. So no matter what hours you put in that week, we're not going to get time and a half pay. We're getting double time for Sunday. So we'll calculate that here in a minute on the next problem. But on this week, we only worked 31 hours, so we didn't get full time. So that's something you need to think about, like, do you need to get to overtime pay? How many hours? I still need to go like 8 and 3/4 hours to get to overtime, just to get up to 40. So I should have put in more time Friday, Thursday, and Tuesday. You just can't. You gotta almost average that you gotta work 8 hours for 5 days in a row. That's what you gotta figure out. Well, some of those days are really small. Now, let's say one of the days was a holiday.
Christmas.
Let's say Christmas.
Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Thursday? Okay, let's do that. I like that. All right, so let's do this. I like that idea that somebody just said there. We have Thanksgiving's coming up. I guess we have Halloween, but Thanksgiving will be the next time where we actually get time off. So,
We don't have school on all
let's
week.
just erase these. All right, so let's say that Thursday
We should.
is a holiday. So that day, so you get double time on Thursday. Now, the thing you need to think about, so we'll calculate Thursdays on their own, but to get time and a half, you still have to consider, did you work a 40-hour work week? No, we only worked 31 and a quarter, like we were saying. Even though we included the holiday, because that's a normal day, 31 and a quarter is what we worked in the normal work week. So what we have to do though, is to figure out what our normal pay is, because Thursday was double time, you have to subtract the 4 and a quarter out of 31. Because our normal overtime pay won't count, because we already got paid double time for Thursday. You can't count Thursday twice. So if you go 31 and a quarter, subtract this, you should get, what is that, 27 even?
Yep.
That's how many hours you work through the week without Thursday, because Thursday is a completely different pay scale. So you'd have to add Thursdays and Sundays together to do double time pay, and the rest of the week, those 27 hours, you'd have to do at normal wages. That's something you need to think about. Some businesses, like if there's a holiday in the middle, that's not considered part of the full-time work week. Sometimes it's not. So you'd have to work a bunch of time on Friday just to get to 40 if you need to get to 40 hours. Some businesses, like here at the school, if you're going to be any of the staff help, so if you're going to be like a para, or going to be a custodial or a cook, they have to work the day before a holiday to earn the day off for the holiday. So if you don't put in that time, like you call in sick, you don't get paid. You don't get paid for like the next day. So if like they call in sick on a Wednesday and Thursday is the is Thanksgiving, and you call in Wednesday, you don't get Thursday's pay. It doesn't matter. It's one of those things you have to punch in the day of. There's certain businesses that do that because they know people are going to call in.
So you had to show up sick.
You better show up sick and then they send you home to earn that right.
I don't get everybody else sick.
Yeah, it happens. It's weird. So it's one of those things you need to consider that, especially in your job, like how do you earn certain days off in certain cases, what your vacation time is, if it's paid leave, if it's unpaid leaves. That's little things you gotta think about sometimes, especially when you start having kids that are sick all the time. They constantly have fevers and sniffling nose, and your daycare sends them home. So. All right, now let's calculate gross pay stuff. Let's do it for this example. This is a nice example. So we're coming up on Thanksgiving. This is your work week. That's your schedule for the week. So if this is what we're getting paid, we didn't work any time and a half, so we don't need to worry about it because we didn't go past a 40-hour work week. We really worked only 27 hours if you think about it, without the holiday pay. The double time pay was $14.50. You need to add Sunday and Thursday's work together to figure out total hours that you're working Sunday and Thursday, because these are your double time pay days. So that looks like it's 9 3/4 hours. And so this is your hours you're working for double time pay. What you do is you always take that pay times your double time. So if this is your holiday and your Sundays, I guess, you take it times the $14.50, and that's how much money you're going to be making on that holiday and Sunday. That's a separate number. Okay, can somebody do $14.50 times 9 3/4? I need to know what that pay is.
141.375.
141.375. Okay, so about $141. Again, this is not without taxes taken out, so that's just gross. We'll have to take out taxes and stuff later, but right now it's about $141 for the 2 days you worked. And now we got to do the rest of the week. Well, the rest of the week we didn't go over overtime, so you're taking the 27 hours for the rest of the week because we subtracted Thursday out and Sunday. I guess you didn't count Sunday, and you're going to take that times 7 1/4.
195.
195 point what?
7.5.
7.5. 7 1/4. Okay. All right, there you go. $195. And then your final total for the week is you have to add up the 195 and the 141. Because you have to add these up separately to find your total pay for that week. Now, most businesses probably round this up and just say 38 cents. They'll do that if it's over 5. But if you add that together, let's just say that's an 8. That's a 3. So 3, carry 1, 11, carry 1, 7, what is that? 13, carry 1, and 3. So 3, 3, 7, 13. All right, so $337 for that week. Not a bad week. Maybe that's what you're doing for minimum wage. Now, most people in here, if you're working in this area, you're easily making more than that if you're putting in hours like that. Just because most businesses around here pay more than 7 1/4 anymore. Just depends on the job, yes. All right. Questions, comments about how to calculate gross pay? How holidays work, how time and a half works. Perfect. Last thing today, we have a story problem. Last problem today.
Yeah, they're like trained out.
Alright. So, very last problem here today. We got a calculator story problem.
Yeah. They do.
Okay, here we go. So. Okay, last problem of the day. I promise you this is the last one. Here's my example. Story problem I'd like you to have it written down, and I'd like you to try to calculate it in your little pod that you're sitting. We'll work together, try to figure it out. So Tim earns $9.30 per hour. How much
Big title.
will his next paycheck be?
How many hours?
Next paycheck be? And let's consider that they're not taking out tax on it. So just what the next gross paycheck will be if it works.
27.
We're gonna go 45 hours.
Oh, dang.
45 hours. And now we're not considering any holiday or anything like that. He worked 45 hours that week. I want to know what your pay is. No holidays on this one. Still has overtime considered, but not holiday pay. This is your only last problem today. Once we're done with this one, we're done.
Center.
Is he working full time?
He's working full time and extra.
Do he get paid weekly or?
Yep, that's his weekly pay. He gets paid weekly for his job. He's construction.
Worst part is
Gets paid
he
way more.
won't move out because he doesn't have enough money.
That's it. That's what.
She's working at 900. That's how much it all is.
Add that to that. What's that number?
She's
She's definitely worse than
I
that.
already, 441.75.
Yeah.
Yeah, 441.
Yeah.
441.
Times 930. Or no.
Yeah, because she doesn't have enough money left. But I think it's just me and she's paid like maybe 15
His sister's first.
I'm pretty sure.
5 hours, 40 hours.
Yes, good. Good. Calculating these pretty quick. Because that you gotta take it times 5 hours.
Dude,
So that was your 40 hours at that price? Now we gotta do 930 times 1.5. And whatever 930 times this is, you have to take times 5 extra hours that you work. 13 times 5, you work 5 hours. Boom, that number. Okay, you just gotta figure it out.
Yeah, that's the lens.
I told my sister that she's trying to rape this man. He's gonna get paid for free.
Okay.
When he comes to Titan.
Anyone else want me to double check their work?
I don't know, he's just.
All right, hey, Let's finish up this problem on the board. I know a lot of you are just getting done. Okay, here it is.
Oh, God.
Okay,
I told myself.
he's working 45 hours. So, the one thing that I know a lot of people are doing, you split the 45 to be 40 and 5, which is the correct way to do that. 5 hours overtime, 40 hours full-time work week. Okay, the 40 hours, you have to take times 930.
Right down before.
So that, I think it was what, 372? That was the pay for his normal work week. But he worked 5 hours overtime, so you gotta take the 930 times 1.5 to calculate what his time and a half pay is. And then you have to take it times 5 hours, because he worked overtime, which was 69 bucks and 75 cents. So that was his pay for overtime. And when you add them together, 441.75.
$69.
There's his pay without taxes coming up.
Woo!
Not bad, you're done for the day.
Stand up, Bishop. Stand out, kid.